Hey everybody! Remember us?
Hey guys.
Remember that Fitz Rage thing? Remember that Fitz Rage thing? You know, the Monstrous Rage and Defenster? You hear a guy in the background, and we're gonna introduce him momentarily. But welcome back, guys. Fitz Rage is a thing. It's happening. The podcast is once again live. Hey Fitz, how you doing, bud?
Hey. Doing all right. You?
Good. Are you ready to get back into this little session that we do?
Well, yeah. I've been ready.
Wow, yeah, he's been ready. I'm the one that's kind of delayed this. Right. For all those people that are watching live, understand we will communicate with you guys, but we're going to be doing it during the session in chat, because we are recording this for YouTube and all those lovely people in the YouTube world. Hi.
So if you see me keep looking over or down, that's for chat.
All right, guys, to start off, I will say we do have a guest on the show. His name is Hykiri. Some of you might know him. Some of you might not. But let me tell you, this guy, wrestling, oh my god, I will never, ever go against him. I'll be his teammate, but I'll never go against him. Let's go say hi.
Hey guys.
There he is. There's Hykiri. Welcome, sir. Welcome. How you doing?
Doing good, thank you.
Are you ready
for
for this?
me.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure to bring fellow streamers into the midst. I do see that I've got a link that I need to remove for a moment. Let's do that. So
we are rated T.
We
maybe
rated T. No, there's no rated T here, folks. Understand there is going to be swearing. It is a mature audience of immature people.
Yeah, like South Park. I've always thought that was funny. They say the show is recommended for mature audiences, and I'm like, really? South Park? No.
You know what? I'm just gonna dive right into this. We're gonna get started right away. The one thing that I am super excited for, which is really odd, considering all the next gen, or I guess current gen stuff that's out on the market. But the first thing that I want to dive into is the good old Nintendo Mini.
No. It is the NES Classic Edition.
He wants to correct me.
That is correct from Nintendo.com. That cannot be any more correct than that.
I'm still gonna say he's wrong, people, because I will not agree with Fitz. Fitz, Hykiri. Either one of you can go first with this. This is what I'm going to do to completely confuse them and make them have to choose. Somebody talk. What do you guys think? Nintendo Mini, good, bad? Are you going to get it? Is it something that you're excited about?
I'm already excited for it.
Excellent.
I already told my grandma that's my birthday gift. Because back in the day,
yeah, go ahead,
when
sir.
I first grew up, we used to play Bubble Bobble together on Nintendo. So I told her when I got it, because it comes out around my birthday. And once I get it and hook it up, I'm going to stream Bubble Bobble and make her play it with me. I want to it.
I want the Nintendo Mini very badly. Same reason. When I was a kid, there was a lot of games on that system that I played, and to have them, the majority of the popular ones, grouped together onto this little tiny mini NES. This cute little, I'm a monstrous rage, but I still find things cute, people. This cute little tiny box. It's got a controller that's just like the old NES controller, but my biggest selling feature of this is because I'm a streamer, it's got an HDMI input.
I know, I love that.
Yeah, no more RFID connections for the back of that thing. But two things. Yes, you can see how small that is. So it's like a 3DS XL, or two of them stacked on top of each other. But yeah, 30 games, great, awesome. what do you do with this thing? It's just some tiny little thing you're going to plug into your TV, right? So it's just a really tiny console. I'm
Yep.
not bashing Nintendo, especially
It's
not
an emulator.
Nintendo. I absolutely love them, and I love the games. I'm excited to play Metroid again because I still have that aftertaste of the Prime series. Kirby's Dream Land, the original one, that was a great game. It was a lot harder than most people expected from a little pink marshmallow looking dude.
Oh, there's going to be a lot of frustrated people with these classics.
I don't think people remember how hard games used to be.
Yeah.
Like Mega Man.
Oh my God! I don't want to even get started with Mega Man. That game.
Great.
The biggest problem I have with this is the classic controller, because that means that corner stores are going to be sold out of Band-Aids like every day.
Yeah.
For those damn things. You're going to have your gamer
You mean this thing?
Yes.
You mean that thing right there? That thing?
You're going to have blisters on your thumbs, on your hands from the corners, everywhere. It's going to be hilarious.
Oh, it's not meant for us adults. I'm going to hold it in my hand and be like, this doesn't feel right. When I was a kid, it felt so right. But I had little itty bitty hands. I got big grown up hands now. It's going to be, it's going to be a pain in the ass.
And I'm going to fat finger the A's and B's, I'm going to be like, I jumped, and I'm going to run off a cliff first thing in Mario. And I'll be like, no, I jumped. But my finger's just too fat and it hit both of them at the same time.
What games in the list? I know, Hykiri, you said that Booble Bobble is one of those games, but I mean, for me, there's like, out of the 30, 25 of them I give a shit about. There are a few that I don't care about, but there's a lot I want to dive into. What would be your top three? What were the top three games that you guys would like to jump into for that?
Bubble Bobble. Kid Icarus. Cause I always wanted it.
Oh.
And I never got to play it.
Oh, it's a
And
pain in the
definitely
ass.
the
sir.
Mega Man.
The Mega
Because I
Man,
hate
yeah.
to rage. Mega Man makes me rage.
Oh, you know what? I love when people rage. It's like food to me. When they start losing their mind, it's like
That's how you get your nourishment.
it's like, give me more. So when you play Mega Man on Cast, I'm gonna say this. I'm coming to watch.
You will see rage. Lots of rage.
No. See,
Fitz,
yeah.
three games.
Definitely Metroid. Oh my god. That game has so much nostalgia for me. And granted, it is a ridiculously difficult game, especially with two buttons. Again, I really don't think people understood how difficult that game was. And they take games for now granted. They're like, oh, those Prime games were a joke. They're like, yeah, now try doing all of that stuff with two buttons and a D-pad. Like, you have to manage which weapon you're using, and, anyway, it's a lot more complicated than things are now. And that, I think, will get probably the most playtime. Although, Kid Icarus, that was a rare game for me. That was one that was rented, but never owned it. And Metroid actually was a friend of mine, so I never owned it either. I just borrowed it. But Kid Icarus was a great game. The kit and shooting the little arrows. I'm just going to love hearing those sounds again, the whole thing. So those two games definitely on the list. And I don't know. I really don't know. I don't even know the whole list. There's 30 games. I haven't remembered all of them.
I can't believe neither one of you are going to choose any one of the three of my picks. Legend of Zelda.
Oh, yes.
Hey, I only did two. And honestly, that was going to be my third because
Star Tropics.
I've stayed with it. Go for it. I'm done now. Thanks for waiting your turn, Monster.
Final Fantasy. How are these three not in your selection? Okay. How are these three not in there?
Honestly, I wasn't into Final Fantasy until later. I was the Chrono Trigger on Super Nintendo.
Oh, you're a sinner.
Yeah, see? So I'm not going to lie. The early Final Fantasy, all right, I get it. Yes, it's now become a legend in the game series, the name Final Fantasy, the whole spiel. But
there is no fantasy that's final in that series.
Yeah, no kidding. It's like on the, millionth version of the game now? Anyway, I mean, there's even a Tetris-like Dr. Mario Medicine Pill Final Fantasy game out there. But anyway, that's it was more Chrono Trigger on Super Nintendo than it was Final Fantasy, because when it first came out over here, we didn't know it was going to be this huge thing, and you can't be mad at us for the first game of a series, not getting it on board for that, because turn-based really wasn't a big thing for me. I wasn't a real fan of it even back then. It annoyed me. But Chrono Trigger did turn out to be turn-based. I don't know, I just like the story better, and it just seemed more fun. And granted, it was on Super Nintendo, so it was a little better graphics. Twice as good, whatever. But yeah, that was why I didn't say Final Fantasy. But yes, Legend of Zelda is on my list. If you waited your turn, you would have known that.
Yeah, I don't wait for you, Fitz. I'll wait for guests, but you know with you, I mean, I'll cut you off in a heartbeat.
Oh man.
All right, moving on. Okay, so obviously Nintendo Mini is a buy.
Most definitely.
Is that what I'm hearing? Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably going to be here somewhere.
Oh, it's going to be here day one, sir. Day one, and I think I'm going to do like a 3-week stint of nothing but classic NES titles.
That'd be cool.
It's gonna break Twitch.
It is.
I want Roger Rabbit on there.
Yes.
Thank you. See, somebody else knows.
Yeah.
Somebody else.
So that you can watch many people try and figure out how to get through that tunnel.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm not doing my tunnel with that. Fine. But yes.
All right, guys. I want to move on to the next topic. This one, I'm kind of on the fence with this one, because this one is shame on you for doing it, but at the same time, there was many doors for this to be opened for many people. The thing that I'm bringing up is, with No Man's Sky coming out in the last week and a half, there was a lot of streamers that were able to get their hands on it through going to stores, and the process apparently was that store clerks were ringing it in as just a random game so they could pick it up early. Now, these streamers would bring the game home, and they're not all new streamers. There are many streamers that are up in ranks that got caught doing this too. But they were streaming the game, and Twitch basically banned them for violating terms of service. They were streaming a game that hadn't been released yet. And my question is, as much as I agree with, if you are getting content before release date, if you stream it, there should be consequences, because most streamers that are doing that are doing it to try and get that push of viewership on that day. But on the flip side of that, should game companies have some sort of responsibility in terms of this as well, because their servers were online before the game was released? So if they had just made sure that their servers were off until release date, nobody would have been able to get into No Man's Sky. This streaming wouldn't have happened, and all of these bans that took place would never have happened as well. Thoughts? I'm going to start with Fitz this time.
I do think the game did have a responsibility. They knew when it was. The server should have been shut down. I mean, they may or may not have control over the release date. Obviously, they have to the main distributor, but then the distributor has the ability to actually distribute it, if that makes any sense. I don't know how well people know the gaming industry or how things are done. The people who make the game don't necessarily, and most of the time, vast majority of the time, especially third parties, do not have the distribution rights. They sign a contract with somebody who can distribute it, and then that distributor determines, when they're going to send stuff out based off of talks, negotiations, whatever. It's a little more complicated than just, here's the game, and they send it to you. But anyway, they should have known. They should have kept the server down, even with the distributor sending out before technical release date. They should have kept the servers down and prevented this from happening. And since they didn't do that, I find it kind of shady that they're banning people for jumping on, because they didn't deny them access. they could
Yeah.
have. So,
Yeah, and that's my issue. Hykiri, what do you think?
I gotta go with Fitz on this one. Because, sometimes game companies will send you betas to try out or actual games before the public gets the game.
Right.
And you're able to stream that without fear of banning.
Right.
But with No Man's Sky, you got the game early, which is really no difference. But the server should have been down. If you don't want people playing it, you should have shut the servers down.
yeah.
And, that's on the game company.
Yeah.
Nobody should have been banned for that. They had control over it.
That's overreaction for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with the both of you. But again, I do see the other side of this. I mean, there have been times when games have gotten into people's hands ahead of time when they shouldn't, and those people, stream them. And for a game company, if your day one sales are reliant on, your advertising and that sort of stuff, I'll give you an example. Duke Nukem. This game was a piece of shit, and we all know it. But nobody really saw anything about that game until release. So the company made their money off of the day one sales of the dedicated fans. But after that, everybody just basically said it was a pile of shit. So I see the point of a game company, because what if No Man's Sky was just a flop and these people were playing it a week early and everybody was seeing how crappy the gameplay, which that's not the case, but how crappy the gameplay could have been, and that would have changed people's minds, especially in the age of Twitch now and YouTube and all these different avenues of streaming. There's a lot of money that wouldn't have been made, a lot of cancellations of the game, and it's based on somebody streaming it ahead of time and people seeing that person. So I get the side of the company, but yes, is the company partly to blame for this? Sure. Servers shouldn't have been up. And they even wiped the servers clean day of release. So
progress.
There was no reason to have the servers up in the first place if it was just a clean wipe day one.
It doesn't make any sense. And they could have done stuff, which we'll be addressing later on about a game. They could have done betas. They could have done, Titanfall 2, which we're going to talk about later, is doing now with the pre-alpha. They don't even know what to call it. I don't even know how pre-alpha is, but anyway. Best. Alpha's the first. I don't know what.
Watch our system crash multiple times. Play our game.
Right, exactly. But it's a pre-alpha technical test for free now on just Xbox. I know of. I don't know of PS4 or PC, probably. But anyway, I just wanted, if they can do that, they can do it for No Man's Sky. They could have done it. Granted, No Man's Sky is a bigger game. Different game, but they still should have had a time, that they could have just been like, okay, yeah, it came out beforehand, but we're notifying you that we're going to do the server swipe, or we're doing something. They could have put a thing out that, since it is an online game, that pops up when you're first loading the game in, that says, hey, the game's not released until whatever, do not stream under penalty of banning or whatever. They could have done something.
That would be a simple fix with just general coding in the game. But again,
right,
that takes up a lot of people to...
I'm just saying, you don't have to change the game. They could have just made a warning pop up and say, hey, look, we realize it's out before the release date. Do not stream it beforehand. The end.
Just have a programmed watermark on the game until release date, and then it just fades away.
But they could have done these things, but they didn't.
Yeah,
so, it's on them.
Yeah, I think that these people that got banned, I think that maybe a permanent ban shouldn't have been the way. Maybe if they had a 24-hour ban or a week ban, just to say, hey, don't do this,
right.
Because like I said, it's not a one-sided thing. There's multiple situations that caused this, and it's not one person that's at blame. It's multiple. So
they're not cheating. It's not like they're corrupting the code or using a program to get some sort of weird advantage or anything like that. And nothing malicious. They were just playing the game.
yeah.
You know? So
Now, don't get me wrong. If you're a streamer and you're playing a game at early release and you're doing it to spike up your follow count, understand you're wasting your time, because Twitch will come after you, and then you'll just have a account that's gone.
Right.
So do it the right way, people. Do it the right way. You know what, Fitz?
YouTube will drop your video. Twitch will mess with your account and say, no, you can't do it. You know, nobody will let you do it if it's not supposed to. So, like you said, it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
There's no point to it. Yeah, you can play for yourself, get it, but again, if you're streaming it, they should have at least put a thing up said, don't stream it. Sorry, we released it early, or whatever they wanted to say. But they could have made the servers not operational. They could have given a warning to not stream it early. They could have let a few select people stream it, like they do with bigger names. Like Nintendo gives to certain people. They have YouTube accounts, they have Twitch accounts, and they get to play games early. IGN gets early releases sometimes, and they'll stream them. But they have strict guidelines on what they can and cannot say and what they can and cannot show. So they could have done that if they knew people were so eager to get this early release out without having to release the entire game.
Yeah.
And then get pissy about people streaming it. Really, you're going to trust a bunch of gamers to not play a game until it's time to come out? You give it to them early, they're going to pop it in as soon as they can. That's just the truth.
Hykiri, do you have any final thoughts on this topic?
Well, I'm pretty much with y'all on this.
Yeah.
That it should have been up to the designers to keep the servers off.
Mm-hmm.
And if you just have a game early and trying to boost your followers, that's not the right thing to do.
No, exactly.
We all know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cheaters never prosper. Well, sometimes they do in certain games. Damn it.
And they get banned. Anyway.
I hate cheaters. You know what? Cheaters just drive me insane. Speaking of insanity, Fitz.
No.
We're doing it again, buddy. We're doing it again. Hey, everybody, guess what? Fitz Rant is back. Want to hear him, bitch? Hykiri, enjoy this.
Yeah, you can sit back and listen to me go. All right. Yay. This is this week's topic. It's about nerfing, and sometimes patch notes come with buffs as well, which is nice. But in particular, Overwatch has come out with a new map, but with this latest patch, they've also seriously nerfed one of their big characters. I mean, all their characters are, I guess, big, but Genji, if anybody knows anything about Overwatch, used almost all the time, ridiculous maneuverability. Pretty much, he is a robot ninja, is what he is. But they had a year, might have been over a year, but a year worth of beta testing to balance these characters out, right? An entire year. Granted, they said they're going to introduce more characters and more maps as they go, and they are. They've already released Anna. They're about to release Eichenwald, I think is the name of it, Eichenwald, the German map, which is the biggest map they've ever made, but we're going to get into that later. But if you have an entire year, a year of open beta testing, they had closed beta testing for that, for most of that, granted. And at the tail end, they did open beta to allow more people in. And even with the closed beta, they kept inviting more and more people, so it was getting a larger number of their servers and more players with different levels, and they could see the balance issues. They knew the balance issues before the game was released. They should have. And then they're just like, meh, I guess it's not a big deal. Granted, when it was released, they had, 12 million copies sold almost overnight, it seemed. But It might have been more than that, but you guys get the picture. It's a huge success right off the bat. So yeah, you can't really, compensate for that amount of people or numbers wise and try and balance off of, what 12 million people are going to do. But with the year and the thousands of people that were testing it and beta testing it, you think they would have known by now. But now the game's been out, everybody knows it, they love the game, they think it's amazing, and now they're nerfing some of their characters. And now what's even worse is that the characters that they've nerfed, they've had to rebuff, they've had to change again. So what were they doing that whole time? They're just like, here, have fun, play our characters, and doing server load tests? That's great and all, but it doesn't need to be that long and drawn out if all you're doing is testing your server. That's it. So what were they doing this whole time? Were they fixing glitches on the maps? Because those still happen. I mean, you can check out videos all over the place for glitches in Overwatch. That still happen. So they haven't closed all those up, and now they're characters that they're like, oh no, we didn't expect that to happen, so we're gonna nerf their powers. Oh wait, now nobody's picking them, so we're gonna buff their powers. And oh wait, they're too powerful, we're gonna nerf them again. No, what were you doing this whole time? What? You had an entire... I'm going in circles. It's ridiculous. But this isn't the only game that does that. Many games nerf characters, and it's frustrating, or nerf certain powers or abilities. And if any of you watched, which some of you I know, our earlier Friday Night Ramblings on Monster's Twitch channel, you know that I played City of Heroes for 8 years, and I didn't understand that when they would nerf a power that was around since the beginning of the game. It would have been like 3 years on, and this was an MMORPG. There were millions of people playing this game around the world, and it took them 3 years to figure out, oh, something's a little OP. I don't get that. Like, what were you doing all that other time? How did you not notice this? And Overwatch is a smaller game as far as programming goes, I guess, because, the characters always look the same. Yes, they have skins, but basically they look the same. They all have the same powers, and there's only a set number of them, set number of maps, whatever. Where City of Heroes was a stupidly, not complicated, but customizable game for your character, for how your character looked, and the abilities that you chose and how you enhanced them. There's so much more to it. And I get that maybe keeping track of more things, you'd need more time. But with the small, closed set things that Overwatch has, and they do well, I'm not dissing Overwatch, they do these small things well, but it's a small set of things. You should have been able to see this before now. You should have seen these problems a year ago, So that's what bothers me, is people, game developers, who don't catch these nerfs that they think are required until the game's been out, people are used to it, they're set in their ways, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, by the way, we're gonna half that person's damage, or we're gonna make them so they can't move around as well, or we're gonna take that power out completely. Just what the hell? It makes sense. So that's the problem, especially when they have to go back and rebuff the person they just nerfed. They're like, oh crap, we nerfed them too hard. Oh, well, yeah, you should nerf, and they have the PTR where they can test things before they give it to the public. So again, they should know it. So that's my problem. So. But anyway, I'm done for now. That is this week's rant. Let me know what you guys think.
Oh my god. The thing about Fitz rants is that they come from a place that I have no idea what it is. I do that on purpose. I tell him, I go, Fitz, come up with a rant. I don't care what it is. Just find something that you want to bitch about and do it. So it's always a joy to mute my mic so you guys don't hear me, but I'm just saying stuff in the background. Just saying stuff in the background. Trying to get him to laugh. All right. Well, we were talking, or we were listening to Fitz bitch about Overwatch, but in terms of Overwatch, I love this game. And I know Fitz does too. He's just angry that the characters are getting nerfed. They're getting nerfed.
And again, it's not just this game. I just use this as an example.
Well, the one thing I do want to bring up with Overwatch is that there is a new map that's in development. I'm sure a lot of people have seen it. It came out, the trailer, this week. And in fact, I am going to, play that sucker. So, while we discuss it, let's let it play in the background.
People have played it already. It's out at Gamescom, which is going on in Germany right now, which is a great place to release a German map. So...
Now the thing is, I know that Hykiri, you don't play this game, but I know that you've expressed joy in watching it. The map sets that are in these type of games are very limited and few. And it's designed that way to get people very familiar with team strategy and really unison the group in competitive play. If you overload the map structure, then it just gets lost in it. But it's nice to know that they are making a new map. It's nice to know that there is something happening. And I gotta say, I really dig the fact that it's the good old medieval kind of spirit. It feels very, very Legend, the movie Legend. I'm going back in time, folks.
Wow.
Very, very Legend-like. So,
Crooked teeth.
yeah, I'm excited about this. Guys, what do you think? What do you think?
I like the new map look.
Yeah.
I've seen people talk about it. And like I said, I don't play Overwatch because I can't work the buttons, but I enjoy watching gameplay. I love competition, so. And Overwatch is a very good competitive game. So.
You need to watch the pros, like they'll stream channels.
Yeah, I do.
It's hilarious. Those comments
it really is.
are like, Mexican soccer announcers, Go! So it's super excited, which is awesome. And I'm glad they get into what they're doing. But it's hilarious. They're like, damn, that dude's, hyped up on Red Bull. Mountain Dew and Cheetos all the way.
Well, I like the setup of the level. I mean, there are many open places, but I like, because I use Junkrat. Everybody knows I use Junkrat. But with Junkrat, for me, the tight corridors are perfect trap areas. Setting up my landmine and then my good old bear trap and just luring them in, lob one or two grenades just so that they know, hey, Junkrat's around the corner. They walk around that corner, hit that bear trap, and then I push the trigger for the landmine, and boom! So I'm loving the small little corridor spaces, but I also see appeal to the wide open areas for like sniper classes. There's a lot of upper level areas that are really going to piss me off. So I'm just going to have to stay out of the open and stay in my dark corridors and kill people there. But yeah, this map looks really good. I'm really excited to play it.
They say this is the largest map they've done. It is the largest map they've done. There are so many nooks and crannies to flank. There's a couple places where in several maps they've made places where only a few characters can get with their movement abilities. But they really took that into consideration with this map as well. Where like only one character might be able to get somewhere, or two if somebody's really highly skilled with another one. Because like Pharah or D.Va, they have their jets, they can move. D.Va can go further. Pharah can go higher. Junkrat has his mine, and he might not be able to make that jump.
But I can get up there eventually.
But a really skilled Junkrat might be able to. They've made long lines of sight that aren't obvious. So the snipers like Hanzo or Widow could take advantage of that, where you have no idea where the bullet came from. Obviously, they have some bullet trace on screen, but you wouldn't see the sniper at all until it's too late, which is the point of the sniper. And what I wish they did, though, which is before they actually had the map playable, people were thinking that it might be a reverse payload map, because you have to capture a point and then escort the payload, which is the typical formula for Overwatch, if you don't know. And they were thinking that it was going to be opposite of this because you're escorting a battering ram to a throne room. So they're like, are we going to have to escort the payload first and then try and take the throne room? And I think that would have been much cooler than the basic, okay, here's the battering ram sitting in the middle of a courtyard. Now you have to take it, and then you escort it, and once it busts down the door, game's almost over, pretty much over. You just escort it a little bit further, you run in. That's it. You don't.
Oh, I have a feeling that's exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be the same formula as before.
No, I've seen the people playing it. You escort the battering ram but you have to take the point first to get the payload,
right?
Battering ram, and then you escort it like you do in every other game. Where I think it would have been cooler. It's super simple just to swap the order and make it a little easier, and just a little bit of a spin off of their traditional thing would add just that much more depth, although it's minuscule in difference. I think it would have been a better choice, and I think it would have been cooler and a little more excited. People would have been a little more excited to see that. But I have no.
I'm excited regardless.
I know. I'm looking forward to playing the map. They know people are going to play it. There is one serious choke point on this map. Several maps have choke points, but people have already figured out how to get around them. So I've seen one tactic that's worked so far out of the several videos I've watched of people playing this map. I'm not sharing that just in case any of you out there end up playing me. But like it matters. I'm not that good. But I'll take every advantage I can get. So yeah, there is a serious choke point in the map, and if you don't know how to handle it, that will be the end of your game. So it challenges you, which is good because there's a lot of people who just hopping around and know these maps, and they're like, okay, I can do this. I know how to handle this. Where even if you do have mobility, even if you use Reaper and try and shadow walk past somebody, Wraith form past them, it's not going to do you much good. So it's really well.
All I think about with Reaper, though, with Junkrat, is all I hear in my head when I play that game is die, 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 and then I throw a landmine and blow him up and go, you're welcome.
Yeah, they've changed Reaper too. Apparently, his Wraith form will now set off traps instead of being able to Wraith form past where Junkrat throws down his mine or his bear trap.
That's fantastic.
He'll still be caught in it. So I don't know what the point of Wraith form.
But isn't that kind of a nerfing thing, because that makes it so much easier for me to kill him? It's already easy for me to kill him, and now it's just simple.
I know. See, the whole balance issue. Figure this out.
All right, guys. Yeah, I'm not sure when the map comes out. Anybody got the information on that, or do they even have a release date yet? I don't think they do.
Season 2 apparently, but Season 2 hasn't dropped in live yet. So,
well, I look forward to playing it. I will be playing it. You guys will be jumping in, and it'll be fun. It'll be fun. But you know what, guys? We're going to be jumping to our next topic. I think, there's only so much we can talk about a map. But I thought it was something that we should bring up because it is new. Overwatch is a thing. Everybody loves it. But now let's go on to Overwatch's competition.
Wait, what?
So, yeah. There's a new Battleborn character. And
I like
it. It's great. I love the new character. In fact, I didn't think I was going to be a close-up tank type character. I do love my Montana for distance, but this guy is just fantastic. The problem, though,
I wouldn't call him a tank.
Well, the issue that I have with this is that as much as this character is really, really cool, it seems like Battleborn is just completely forgotten. Nobody's talking about it anymore. And that really sucks, because I really do enjoy playing that game, but nobody talks about it. And I just want to know why. Anybody have a thought to why that is?
I love Battleborn.
Dude, it's a great game.
I think it's a great game.
Yeah, it's so
Yeah,
good. I don't understand the hate.
Yeah, I don't understand that either because it's not much different from Overwatch. I mean, it's pretty much the
Yeah,
same mechanics.
yeah.
So maybe bad timing
I think
or
that's what
release
it is.
date.
It's just bad timing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I wonder if it came out after Overwatch because it came
I
out
just think
before.
It
around
did.
around the same
Yeah,
time, I believe.
yeah. It was. I think
They're very
Battleborn
close,
came
but
out like 3 weeks prior to Overwatch, but and I was right on day one with Battleborn, and I was playing it, and there was quite a viewership coming in and watching, and a lot of people were playing it. But I found that as soon as Overwatch came out, it was like a week after, and nobody gave a shit.
Yeah, it's dead.
And it sucks because that game is a lot of fun. I think that if they had made that game, even if they had pushed the release 6 months after Overwatch, just to get the Overwatch hype down a bit, I think it would have been more successful. But I'm worried because I just don't see this being a game that's going to last another 2 or 3 months. I think it's just going to be gone.
I don't think it'll last maybe another month or so
Yep,
before it's forgotten.
stops dropping off the viewing charts.
yeah, I think it's going to be a sleeper. I think it's going to have its small little following, and I mean, I'm obviously based off of my game picks, other than Zelda. Yes, I know there's a Metroid following, but Metroid was sort of like a dark horse for Nintendo. It's not. It's recognizable. Everybody knows who Samus is. They recognize her, even if they don't know her name. They recognize her in her armor. They understand. They hear Metroid, but it's not Mario. It's not Zelda. It's not the big boys, or Kirby even. And same with Pit from Kid Icarus. I love that game. That game pissed me off a lot though too. But I like those what seem to turn out to be like the dark horses. They're good games that fly under the radar. Even on was it Xbox or 360? I don't even remember. I think it's 360. Reckoning, Kingdoms of Amalur. Absolutely love that game. Played the shit out of that game over and over and over again. And almost nobody I knew that game or had it or anything. But if you look back at best game lists, that's almost on every single one of them for the 360. And it's a sleeper hit. And I think Battleborn might be looked at better on down the road than it is now. And I think the timing did have something to do with it. But it's still a great game. And Pendles was a ton of fun to play. With Back to the City of Heroes, my first bad guy was what they call the Stalker, the assassin class of anything. Anybody should know that. You're sneaking around, quick strikes, and then you leave. And that's exactly what this guy does. He goes
Now, here's a question that I want to bring before the two of you, though. Would you find that Battleborn would do better if it was a free-to-play and you had like 5 characters that you could use right off the bat, and if you wanted to experiment with other characters, that's how they could make their money, by charging you, say, $4.99 per character to unlock and use them in the game? I find that if they did the free-to-play model, I know a lot of people hate that pay-to-win situation, but it wouldn't be that because everybody would pick characters that they would be very familiar with. But I find that it would get out to the population more so, and more people would be more inclined to jump back into it if they didn't have to pay money to play it.
Didn't the game just switch to free-to-play, like a big game that... Oh, Evolve.
Yeah, Evolve did. Evolve Stage 2.
Yeah, they switched to free-to-play, and their numbers spiked when that happened. So, that's the same model. You pay for the characters you want. They even had pay for your characters you want when you paid for the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is probably why it didn't do so well. But, yeah, it worked for them. I think it would work here. I'm glad that I have access to all the characters and I don't have to pay for them, you guys.
I personally don't like free-to-play games. I think it takes away from the game itself a little bit.
Yep.
But I can see the marketing standpoint on how to make a game popular that wasn't popular.
You make it free.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that goes back to like your Final Fantasy Online.
Right.
Same sort of setup. You're paying a monthly fee for that, but you're not paying. Well, I guess you did have to pay for the game right at the beginning.
Yeah.
But in terms of the way that you play that game to keep people interested, the quests that are brought ahead of the game, they're constantly updating the servers with content, and I think if that game was released with everything in place, people would finish it very quickly, and it would lose its value.
Well,
And I think that's what happened with Battleborn, is that the value of the game, because of the time frame of Overwatch, if they want to get back into this market, I just find that the only way it's going to be done is by giving the game away.
and I get it, and I hear you, but I just don't like it. If they do something like throwing it back to City of Heroes, because I'm familiar with this years ago. I mean, it's been out of circulation for years. But anyway, they eventually went to a free-to-play, and that was after like 6 years of being, pay to play. And when they did that, everybody who was already a member, already playing the game, who paid to play the game, got like extra benefits. Nothing major. You got like little identification things that you could put on your character that people knew, different emotes, stuff like that. You had the ability to chat with people from level 1, where if you didn't pay to play, you had to wait until you're like level 10 or 15 to join like a super group, things like that. So you could chat to the masses, but you couldn't like chat in group chat or team chat and stuff like that. You had to wait until like level 5 to be on a team, where the people beforehand could do it right off the bat. So little buffs that didn't really do much, but it at least acknowledged the people who were there beforehand. So if they do something like that, I'll be okay with it. But
Right.
yeah, but to change it to screw everybody over and be like, hey, yeah, we know you had access to all these characters, but now we're going to be charged to play these certain characters. And since you played them, you like them and you want to buy them. I think that would turn more people away than anything.
Well, people who already own the game, it would just automatically have them unlocked for them, because they
Right.
see that the game was physically purchased or digitally purchased. I'm
Right.
talking about getting new people in.
Yeah, if they do that would be fine. But if they just screwed everybody over and said, you know what, blanket, we're allowing these characters, and you're going to have to buy, whatever other characters for everybody,
Yeah.
that would turn people away.
For Final Fantasy 11, that goes back to Fitz's Nerf rant that he had. That me and Vale, we played that for the last 12 years together online. And
Years. Wow.
that's how we spent our time together. And when we started, she was the thief class, which is just a damage dealer, And I was a ninja, which at the time was a tank. And over the years, all the other tank jobs got jealous because ninja was able to do a better job than, say, a paladin or a warrior, So they nerfed ninja, and they nerfed thief, so nobody wants to play it. And then, they just kept nerfing this job, then putting it back up, nerfing it again, and everything comes out of balance. And now the game is just so watered down that everybody can solo pretty much anything.
Well, it's a
And
point
it's still not free to play.
Right,
So-
you have to pay a monthly fee.
Yeah, you still gotta pay.
Yeah, and see, that's where I don't agree with it, because if you're charging us for a service monthly, then you can't change character sets. You just can't.
Right, exactly.
You're already charging somebody that money, and they're spending like Final Fantasy. We all know Final Fantasy is a big game that can eat a lot of time, and if you spent 50, 60 hours on a character set that you just spent so much time farming and getting your character leveled up and getting the right equipment set to your character, and then they just say, oh, by the way, you know that 100% beefed up character you got? Well, we just put him down to 65 because we have to.
Well, that's what happened to me. I spent 2.5 years building my mythic weapon, and Ninja was top dog. And right when I finished it, they just nerfed the hell out of it.
No.
And it was like, what? I just spent 2 years.
Well, you know what? I wish I knew you right when you found that out, because I would have loved to have been in that room just when you found out that your character just got completely fucked over.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was.
All right, I'm gonna get us on to the final topic. This is kind of a lighthearted, fun topic. It's all personal preference, folks. All personal preference. And the question I have, we've got current gen stuff, whether it's console or PC. I'm going to ask Hykiri first. Hykiri, give me, I don't know, 2 or 3 of your favorite games that you're playing right now, that just have you keep going back to them. And tell me why you like it so much. Is it because it draws an audience? Is it because you just personally enjoy playing it? Is it because, holy shit, you're amazing at wrestling?
Well, you know the truth.
Go ahead, sir. Tell the people.
Well, I just got big into PC gaming. I saved up 2 years.
Nice.
$100 a month just to get my big PC.
No.
Which I call my baby, but.
Oh, I call mine my baby too. That's right, sweetie.
So I just started with actual PC gaming. But a top 3 games. Obviously, one is WWE, because on the best in the world.
I knew that was gonna be one.
Only because I haven't played the game.
But anytime you want.
Yeah, he's gonna die of that.
So quick. I won't even be in the ring and you'd be beating me up.
But I play WWE because I'm a huge wrestling fan. I own the world record. And I didn't think it would draw an audience when I streamed it. I really did. But I'm a huge wrestling fan, so I said, screw it, I'm going to play it. And it just happened to
destroy
kind of boom up for me. And on PC, I started playing Life is Strange.
That's a really good game. Yeah, it's a really good game of choice.
Totally fell in love with it.
Yep.
I haven't finished it yet, but I just cannot. Like one of my top 3 most favorite games of all time. Nothing bad I can say about it. And the other game I love, I don't really stream it because it doesn't really attract many people. Yeah. But I find myself playing it in that free time I don't have.
What's your guilty pleasure? What is it? Now I want to know.
It's Ark.
Ark.
I love Ark.
Okay, yep.
Just something about catching dinosaurs. Like Jurassic Park.
And riding like horses?
Yeah, pretty much. Ride them, cowboy.
On a steel horse.
Sit, spot, sit. I mean, eat that person. Those are 3 good games. People, let me tell you. Now, if you're not a wrestling fan, shame on you. But if you are a wrestling fan, WWE 2K16 is epic. There's so many characters in that game, in that roster. WWE or 2K17 is coming out in October. So, 2K16 is available free right now on Xbox One. Just saying. But yeah, the Life is Strange game, I totally agree with you. It's not in my top 3, but it is definitely worthy of people's time. Story of Life is Strange, a story of a girl that can manipulate time. and she's basically living through her life in late high school years. So it's really good. A lot of choice. Telltale games where you make your different choices and your choices affect the content further on. Something like that, except done in a very different artistic way. Very differently artistic. But yeah, those are great choices. Ark, dinosaurs, people, dinosaurs.
Everybody loves
You build forts and you kill people with dinosaurs. There's nothing else to say about that. All right, Fitz, what's yours?
I'm going to kick off with actually a bad joke that my wife sent me through Facebook. Why can't the T-Rex clap? Because
Why?
he's dead.
He has arms like Hykiri.
Because he's dead. Because he's dead, you idiot. Hykiri, you got some dark humor there, sir. I love it.
That was funny.
All right, Fitz.
Games.
Now that you've told that awful joke, how about the game, sir?
This generation, the only system console I have is the Xbox One. I do watch streams and everything, so I am exposed to other platforms as well. But still, the number one solo game, like first-person game, which is hard to find nowadays. They used to be like the game, and then you'd have to really search for multiplayer games so you could play with your friends, and now it's kind of opposite. But I think first-person games or single-player games are coming back because they realize how antisocial people are. But for now, that's true. It's got to be Mirror's Edge Catalyst. I enjoyed Mirror's Edge, and Mirror's Edge Catalyst came out. I was excited about it. I have it. I don't know. It's not, although there is combat in the game and there's time limits and everything, it doesn't seem like it's very pressured. Like it's a very...
The casual run through?
Yeah. Even with the combat and everything, it's sort of meditative for me because it's a very pretty game. Very, very pretty. High detail, very bright imagery. I passed through the story, honestly, just enough to know where I have to go or what I have to do. But there is a story there, and you can go back and reread it and see what's what. But I just do it because it seems very meditative. I need to relax or just want to zone out. Mirror's Edge Catalyst is the way to do it, man. It's a great game. Even if you aren't running a mission or anything, you can just parkour your way through the entire city. It's insane.
I did like the first one. I've never got my hands on the second one, so that's good to hear that there are people that enjoy that game because it'll make me get into it.
It is, yeah. Like I said, I'm not one of those that says I'm going to get every speed record on every run ever, or I'm going to, do this mission without taking a hit, which is very challenging on some of these missions. No, I really am just like, hey, this is nice. That's why I liked Forza Horizons when it came out. I was like, oh, cool, I can just go drive. Let's see what's over here. Let's go over that.
So I will say this because I cut Fitz off a lot. We did do Friday Night Ramblings, and it was called Ramblings for a reason because Fitz likes to get sidetracked. He was talking about his three favorite, and I don't think Forza Horizon was one of those three.
No, it's not.
So I was just being an asshole and cutting him off so he could continue on with his next game. Fitz.
Mortal Kombat XL now was X.
XL.
Yeah, it was X, but then they came out and made everything that you had to pay for with X free if you bought XL for the same price that X is sold at. So
screwed us early adopters. That's what that did.
So anyway, Mortal Kombat XL.
That's a good game.
That's a fun game.
Yes, it is.
Single player or online, that's a good game. And not gonna lie, it's probably Overwatch now because it's not because I'm all hardcore into it. I enjoy the game.
It's just fun.
It is, and it's quick.
Yeah.
I can log in. It doesn't take long to get into the game. And if somebody dropped a game, your pickup is super quick. You're thrown into the middle of a game. You have like 10 minutes to kill. You can play like 2 rounds of Overwatch if you have a good team, or even if it's on a timed match. Seriously, you get 10 minutes. You can play 2 rounds of Overwatch and be cool. got a quick little fix in. Okay, now I got to go do, real life stuff. So I enjoy that part of it. The fact that you can get in, have fun, and it's quick.
So, you've got Overwatch.
Mm-hmm.
You've got... Oh my god, I totally forgot the second one.
Mortal Kombat?
Mortal Kombat. How can I forget that?
The one I beat.
No, I know how I can forget that because I get my ass kicked in that all the time against Fitz.
Constantly. And
I really try to, people. It's like, it's not even, when we're playing it and we're live and I'm just going, you know what, I feel bad for Fitz, I'm going to let him win. I'm fucking trying. I'm trying, and I'm just getting wiped out. Yeah. Wiped out.
He surprised me with these 3. It was your single player and multiplayer, and now he's thrown 3 at me. So anyway,
yeah.
But yes, and the other one was Mirror's Edge Catalyst.
Yes, and Mirror's Edge Catalyst, that is one that I'm actually interested in jumping into. So like I said, I'm glad you're digging it because that means I'm probably going to dig it.
Yeah, if you like the first one.
Because apparently we're twins, buddy.
That's weird. I think it's just a bald thing.
All right, well, I'm going to actually pick one on PC, and this one surprised me because I really hate underwater adventures. But Soma was a really, really great game. Underwater adventure. It basically dealt with the morality of mankind and survival. I don't want to get into great detail because it really would wreck the game, but that game I really enjoyed playing through. I'm gonna go with Fitz on Overwatch for the same reason. I can have people come in on cast and play, half hour here, half hour there. They don't have to consume a lot of time to be in the game with me, and for me, I can play that for an 8-hour stretch without problems of being bored. So I really do enjoy Overwatch. And finally, this one will probably surprise people. Actually, I guess not, because we did play it like 3 times and finally completed it without killing anyone until Dawn. That game was fantastic. Fantastic. Yeah, it's so good, so good. There are plenty of games in my library that I really do love, but I was, thinking about the 3 that really made an impact on me, and those were the 3. Well, guys,
I honestly thought you would have said Mario Kart.
Yeah, Mario Kart is definitely in top 5 because I do come back to that a lot.
Oh, man.
A lot.
I love Mario Kart.
That's
Waluigi for the win.
I don't have a Wii, but yeah, Mario Kart is an epic game. It
bomb.
always will be. They started something and they owned it ever since.
Well, guys, we successfully did it. We successfully completed our #1 podcast, the return of Fitz of Rage, with our special guest Hykiri. But before we go, we're gonna let you guys say goodbye to Hykiri, and he's going to fill you guys in on what he does, because the reason we do have guests here is not just to talk about shit, but we want to promote our guests, get people noticed, get people to go over and smash that heart if they're on Twitch, or push that subscribe button if they're on YouTube. So without further ado, Hykiri, are you ready? Are you ready, sir?
I'm born ready.
Hykiri, it's the floor. It is yours. Enjoy.
Alright guys, well, I'm Hykiri. I call my stream Hykiri's Nation because I invite everybody to join in and hang out and have fun, whether it's trying to beat me in wrestling or playing Rocket League or doing anything like that. I love playing my viewers, even if they don't follow me. I just like, playing with anybody around. As I said earlier, I'm a huge wrestling fan. WWE 2K16 is my go-to gamer now. I hold the world record based on the rules by Major League Gaming that There's no cheating or glitching or broken game mechanics involved in my wins to make my record. And I am 70-0. The previous record was 24-0. When I found out about the record, I played 2 weeks. I broke it at 26. Then I played some more because I wanted to be better than that. And I broke that record at, I believe it was 50 something. And then I wanted to beat it again. And I hit it at 70. So then I was proud of that. And another streamer told me my record wasn't nothing because they believe that world records are something like WCW wrestler Goldberg's winning streak, which he held in WCW, which was 173 wins in a row. So to that streamer I won't name, I'm gonna crush Goldberg's 173-0 and prove that I'm the best in the world. And aside from that, my original goal wasn't even to break records. Like I said, I'm a huge wrestling fan, and I wanted to play wrestling because a real wrestler in WWE, Xavier Woods, is also a gamer. So my goal was to face Xavier Woods in a match on Twitch. I have cut promos that float around Twitter.
Oh, they're so
Every
good.
now and then, I have a hashtag that is trending at the moment. Hykiri versus Xavier. And most recently, a follower of mine was also a streamer, Zermet, at the pay-per-view last night for NXT. She brought a whole bunch of flyers to give out to the crowd. I said Hykiri versus Xavier. And during the show, the crowd was actually chanting Hykiri versus Xavier.
Yes, it's gonna happen, sir.
I don't know how the guy can avoid me now, but he seems to do it. But I don't give up. But aside from that, me and my wife, Velution, we have been, I call her wife because we've been together 23 years. And we're old people now. But through the laws and things in Louisiana and Mississippi, we can't legally get married or live together. So we're collecting donations to have our wedding ceremony. We're going to have a wrestling wedding ceremony at a local event here where I live, which I'm totally
That's awesome.
about. I'm going to come
That
out
is so
and,
good,
like,
man.
be just like my wrestler. It'll be totally awesome. And other things I do, like I said, I love competition. I'm always up for a challenge. And most recently, a friend of mine, Pi, he actually beat me and ended my streak at, I believe it was 51. That little win, don't lie. But no, I never tell people that I'm unbeatable, but if you play legit, you're gonna have to bust your ass to get that
If you
win
play
over.
against Hykiri, people understand you're gonna lose, and you're gonna say, "Oh, that was luck," and you're gonna play him again, and you're gonna lose. And about after the 10th time of losing, you're gonna go, "All right, fuck it, he's good."
There's one guy I played who just keeps coming back, and he accused me of cheating by my T-Rex arms. There's no way I could ever play this game and kick his ass like I do. So
Well, I will say, I am impressed
I
by
had
that
to post
myself.
a picture of a controller on Twitch. Just show him it's a real controller. And it's hilarious. And but aside from that, first off, I want to say Monster.
Yes,
I
sir.
love your community. I enjoy your streams. You're a great guy. I love you.
I appreciate it, sir.
Working.
Yep, I appreciate it. And Hykiri, I will say this. I will always welcome you with open arms here, sir. You've started to come in, whether it's lurking or chatting. The community has seen you come in, and it's nice to see that some of my peeps are starting to flow over and see you on your channel, because that's what really Twitch is about, is building a community together. And it's nice to have you as part of the team now, sir, as part of the team.
I appreciate that. And now that I met Fitz,
Yeah.
I will toss you a follow.
These are the only things I do, man. They really are. I'm not a big streamer. I don't do it unless it's needed for this. So I won't feel bad, but it is appreciated.
I follow the follow, brother. But, I'm all about promoting, other streamers, whether they have, a million subscribers or 5, I don't care. And that's all about helping each other.
What if they only have one?
Well,
Because
yeah.
Monster.
Yeah, one thing.
I need to get 4 more before you look at me.
All right, I feel like we need to properly say goodbye to Hykiri. So let's get the 3 of us here. Hykiri, it was a pleasure to have you on the cast, sir. Yep.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah, go right ahead, sir.
No.
Do it. No.
With all the flooding in Louisiana that they had lately, a good
it's
friend of
bad.
mine, Sean, his home was flooded, and he lost everything. He's in a wheelchair like I am, and I set up a GoFundMe for him. He's actually in charge as the general manager of the wrestling show here, where our wedding will be. And don't be fooled, guys. If you're an independent wrestler, you're not making millions of dollars. Like John Cena is. So, he lost his home. He lost his medical equipment. And I set up a GoFundMe.
Yeah, you can pop that right in chat if you'd like, sir.
So, guys, if you will, whether it's a penny or a dollar, anything will help the boy. And I'd really appreciate that.
And guys, we'll make sure that we have that in on the YouTube page as well. We'll have that link there for you, so we can see if we can help your friend out. Because, guys, charity is a thing that only happens when we're all charitable. So
Definitely.
we'll make sure that happens. We'll make sure that we've got the link up there. If anybody can help out with that cause, please click on the link and donate. $5 isn't going to break the bank for you guys, but it sure as hell will help get him into a better situation, because you're flooded in a house. You don't have a house to come back to, people, and if you're in a wheelchair on top of that, if there's any time to donate some money, people, that's a cause. You know what I'm saying? But Hykiri, I want to say thanks for joining us, sir. I know that
it was an honor, my friend.
Yep, I know that you had a fun time here. I had fun having you here. I'm sure Fitz will say his thanks as well, but I'm not going to let him talk now because fuck him. So Hykiri, once again, sir, anytime you're more than welcome to join us on the podcast. It's been a pleasure having you here, and let's continue that support of each other. And guys, make sure you follow. Make sure you follow him. Make sure you do. And let's get that Hykiri versus Xavier going. Let's make Xavier eat his words. Finally come in.
Now.
Oh.
He's playing right now. Hey.
Dum, dum, dum.
Maybe we should do a little raid and go in there and harass. No, don't harass people. Don't harass. But yeah, we're gonna close off. Fitz, you want to say anything before we switch over, buddy?
No, it was a blast. I had a fun time. Glad I got to meet you, Hykiri. Good stuff.
Same
good
here,
stories.
sir.
Appreciate the Skittles follow I got from you. Thank you. No. Seriously, guys, it really is just for this. So if you're over here, you'll probably see the same stuff, or if you watch our YouTube channels. But I really do appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Everybody who's watching out there, for the YouTube, like, comment, subscribe.
All right, guys, and with that, we are done. I am Monstrous Rage. That's the Fitster. This is Fitz of Rage. We're going to be doing this every Sunday night, folks. Every Sunday night at 9. Don't forget to hit that follow button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You know where you guys are watching this. But we're going to go for now. So, say bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, folks.
Bye!